What's up, guys? Nick back here with another update on the Gravely Mower progress. So I've got the carburetor, the original one, back on the machine. Remember, I was debating on putting a new one up here or just using the original. So I've got the original cleaned up enough, I think, to be functional. I got the springs and stuff back on it for the governor and throttle. What else did I do? Oh, I've got a makeshift throttle cable here that I took off another mower, but it is functional here. So this is a throttle and choke setup here. It runs down to here. So I've got everything, as you can see, is moving and loose. So hopefully that is gonna work out for me. I've also wired a shutoff switch, which was not working. The old one was all rusted, and the switch just broke off on me. So I'll pull this wiring off another mower that I wasn't using to be able to have an on-off switch. So I've got this ignition put in. So when I want to turn the machine off, I just turn the key to the off position and it should cut the power to the coil, turning the engine off. And if I want to start it, I just turn the key switch to the on position and then do the pull start, because remember, this motor's 84 model. So it won't have a starter on it, or doesn't have a starter on it. It's a pull start, and this is just gonna cut the power to the coil when you want to turn it off. So hopefully that's gonna work out for me. So also remember, when I got this thing out the junkyard, it didn't have a breather cover on it or air filter. So I ordered this one from eBay, and it ended up being able to fit on the machine. But the problem was, this was the hold down rod to hold it down into the carburetor. It was too short. See, the screw is just too short for this setup. So I had to go to Lowe's and get a piece of threaded rod and cut it 6 inches, and then did a makeshift rod to be able to connect it to the carburetor, because the other one just wasn't long enough. See, man, you got to come up with these things sometimes to make it functional. So hopefully that'll work. So the only thing I have left is I got to put the muffler back on, because you don't want to hear this thing run without a muffler. 11 horsepower, that thing gonna be loud as I don't know what. So I got to put the muffler back on. And oh, gas tank. Let me show you what I found with the gas tank. Hold on. All right, so I got the gas tank here. Right, this is the original gas tank that came with the machine, and it's pretty solid, heavy duty, or was for back in the day. And I wanted to use it because it's original. You know, all I had to do is just, clean the rust off and paint it up and make it look good. But let me show you what I found. Man, it's always something. So I took the top off to check out the inside, and y'all tell me what y'all see looking inside the top of it. There's no light inside, but that is light. Do you know why you see light inside this tank? Man, because it's got a daggone hole in the bottom of it. Man, I was so daggone mad. So there's a rust hole in the bottom of this gas tank. So I can't use this one, or I can, and I intend to later on, but there's a process of fixing this rust hole in the tank, which I'll probably do a video on down the line. But for now, ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm checking around on the shelves, and bam, found this tank from another riding mower. So for now, this one's gonna work. Yep. So I'm gonna mount this one on here, but what I gotta do is, this has like a two-way feed setup. So you got the gravity fed, which I'm gonna use. Put your fuel line here, and it'll be gravity fed, fill it in the top. but it also has this vent hole here where you could, if you had a fuel pump, you could pull fuel from the top of the tank. But we're not going to use that. So what I had to come up with was I found a fuel cap. So you got to come up with this stuff, boy, in this business. This is a fuel cap from a weed eater that fits that hole, plugs that hole perfectly. So I'm gonna put that in there, but to make it stay, right? Got some of this RTV black adhesive that I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna smear some of that around there and glue that cap on, let it set, and that's gonna be just fine for now. You gotta figure it out, boy, and it's on. So yeah, mount this thing right here, right where that hole is, where the wire is going through. I can mount that thing right there, put some zip ties on it, put a piece of fuel line under here to the carburetor, and this tank right here be just fine for now. So your boy gonna get started on that and see what I can come up with. So I'm making a little bit of a mess right here because this stuff here and this tube is starting to dry out, and it is not easy to work with. Just trying to get some out of the tube, enough that I can just glue this cap on to hold it. Bam. So I'll clean this up a little bit around there, let this thing set up, and that'll take care of that issue right there. Man, let me tell you, with humidity in North Carolina comes some pretty violent thunderstorms. Hey man, y'all check out my other video that I just put up there, North Carolina thunderstorms with Nick. That's to help a brother out with his watch hours. But I'm telling you, boy, that was one heck of a storm. And I'm telling you, it rained forever. I mean, we had to get at least 3 inches of rain. But I'm telling you, it was something else. But yeah, check out your boy's video, man. You know, you could probably just like relax and go to sleep on it. All right, there, got that cap glued on. I'm gonna let that thing set up some. That's gonna be a functional tank right there for this thing. Hook it right on up. All right, y'all. So right now I'm getting ready to run the fuel line from the makeshift tank I put on. But first I'm going to install a fuel shutoff valve, which I recommend on this system because since it's gravity fed, in case you have like a problem with the carburetor, you need to service the carburetor or change it out, you can just shut the fuel off from the tank without draining all the gas out of it. So I recommend you putting in this valve. Makes it a whole lot easier. All right, got my fuel line all hooked up. So the last piece is just hooking this fuel line, it's 1/4 inch, to the carburetor, get it clamped down. I'll turn the fuel on, and hopefully this thing don't leak, and we'll be able to fire up the engine, see what we got. So here, y'all, I'm just putting a support bracket for the muffler back on. And you want to put the muffler on first before you put this bracket on. Ask me how I know. Because if you try to put the bracket on first and then try to put the muffler on, yeah, it ain't gonna work. Because the muffler won't clear that bracket. The bracket sticks out too far and you won't be able to get the muffler around the bracket. So you have to put the bracket on after you put the muffler on.
Wilson son and a shield bearer and Glenn Watkins. He said, listen, don't say anything. If all of these guys would have not snitched and just kept their mouth shut, there's a decent probability that they would have beat this case. Because like I said, I hear about them having any kind of
Yeah, y'all, so that happened. So this old carburetor ain't gonna work out for me after all. It's got a bad needle and seat, but by the time I order and change that, man, I'm into it for who knows how much. I already had ordered the gaskets for it and replaced that. So I might as well order that one I was telling y'all about on Amazon for $24.95. So that's what I did real quick. Hold on. Bam. You already know how I do. I'm telling you, if it works from Amazon, $24.95, shoot, it's on. Man, but look, y'all. But what I'm saying is, look at the comparison. Even down to the support bracket. You know what I'm saying? Everything's in the right position, trying to get it in the frame. Same thing, y'all. Same shape, same configuration. Throttle system's the same. Same stuff. So, man, you can't go wrong with it. I had to go ahead and hook it up. Plus, they always give you all this extra stuff, like fuel line, which I ain't gonna use that, but fuel filters, the shutoff, which I already got, and some clamps, fuel clamps. I mean, you get all the extra stuff too. I mean, you just can't go wrong. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna install this new carburetor, get everything hooked back up, and then we're gonna try to start this thing up and see if she'll fire up. Yes, sir, y'all. There it is. Running again. 41 years old. Some of y'all probably ain't even 41 years old. This engine older than y'all. Got it running again. The new carburetor, $24.95 Amazon. I'm telling you, fix it every time. Well, probably not every time, but most of the time, Amazon got you. Only thing I got left here is this machine didn't come with a choke control on it, so I have to order me a choke control cable on it. So what I did temporarily is just put a piece of string here to actuate the choke. See the choke lever inside there? When you pull it, just put a piece of string on it for now, but I need to actually get a cable like this one for the throttle and get that working again. So, all right, so if y'all like that video and old Nick with his fan hat, please hit that like button. Tell everybody, hey man, Nick got a new video up. Share that thing out so I can catch y'all on the next one. Yeah, cool.